It's Wednesday, August 4th, and the time for your Barbados Today morning news update. The recent increase in fuel prices will have a significant impact on the already struggling transport sector. That's according to the chairman of the Alliance Owners of Public Transport, Roy Raphael. As of midnight Sunday, August 1st, gasoline increased by 12 cents and now retails at $3.99 per liter, and diesel increased by 4 cents and now costs $3.16. Raphael tells Barbados Today the new prices, coupled with the continued decreased capacity of commuters, have resulted in hardship for members.
Definitely, it had a great impact not only on our minibus our minibus and PSVs, but also a tremendous, particularly on our taxis as well too. The impact hit both sectors, the taxi operators and the minibus operators. And sometime during the course of this week, we're going to be meeting with the taxi operators to have a further discussion with them on it. But it's quite interesting to see our gas bill would have jumped from a mere $150 to over $400 to fill a tank, right? As you rightfully said, the 75% we are dealing with at this stage. We have seen a real decline, since the country reopened, but we have seen a decline in number of passengers. Where we used to move 80%, now we're looking at anywhere between 60 and 65% moving capacity. This is among the ZRs and minibuses. Whereas the TAP, which is the Transport Board operated, would have picked up another 10 to 15%, and the Transport Board would have picked up the other percentage. So right now, at this stage, I'm telling you that it is very rough for us out there.
He also revealed that the AOPT has been steadily losing members given the challenges that the sector has had to face in the last 18 months.
They have hit us hard, I would say, because one, insurance continue to climb. Although we have reached out to the insurance company over time to ask why is it that we have to pay as much as $22,000 a year for insurance. And there's no justification to show that our PSV run off the road or cause an accident every day. We don't know why. But I was made to understand that they're calling it the risk that is involved. So obviously, with fewer persons traveling on our roads, we have to look for $22,000 a year. When you go to a mechanic, you have to pay much more money for the mechanic. When you go to an electrician, right, you pay more. So what I'm saying, we are seeing the increase of prices at the maintenance level, at the insurance level, right, at the pump. But definitely we are also seeing a pull away by some operators failing to want to continue to drive the vehicle. And I'm taking it that sometime soon public service vehicle operation may not become as attractive as it used to want it.
A political scientist has taken government to task for what he described as its decision first, discussion after stance on the country's move to becoming a republic. Speaking at a Democratic Labour Party meeting on the topic, no referendum, no republic, on Monday evening, Devon Bruce said it was ironic that the government was claiming that the transition to a parliamentary republic was about self-identity and self-governance, yet Barbadians were not given an opportunity to have a say. He said the people were worthy of consultation as they could contribute in a meaningful fashion.
The independence project, by and large, was about democracy. The independence project was about bringing persons on board, persons participating in the political process, because that was absent prior to the independence period. So is it not highly ironic now that they're telling you we're furthering the independence project, we're furthering self-governance in a way by going republic, but in that very form and fashion, they're excluding people in their activities. And that is fundamentally the problem that we are faced with right now, that glaring irony and contradiction.
Bruce also pointed out that there were many unanswered questions still remaining.
We are an intelligent population in Barbados. We had education, free education coming up with our era of today. Very intelligent people. We're able to discuss the issues at hand. We're able to understand the issues at hand. We're able to contribute to the issues at hand. And the reality is that the Barbados Labour Party does not have the monopoly of truth. The Barbados Labour Party does not have the monopoly of knowledge or experience. That resides with our people. Where are the town halls? Where are the levies? Where is the rubbing shoulders, as we were told, on this very important issue?
Police say no foul play is suspected in the death of 55-year-old Peter Douglas Prescott of Greenwich's St. Lucie. According to police spokesman Acting Inspector Rodney Innes, lawmen received a call around 2:05 p.m. on Tuesday that a man had been found in an unconscious state in the area known as Agent Bay, Cluffs, St. Lucie. His sister Mondell Quimbley said she last saw Prescott on a Tuesday morning when he visited her residence to collect chicken.
He was a hard-working fella. He used to work with me processing chickens. And he went with me this morning and told me he go home and cook. Came for a piece of chicken, say he go home and cook. I didn't see him back after. He went back here, and then he said he go home. I didn't see him back after that, not till they get the news. Say that he drunk.
Grantley Rock, who said he has known Prescott for most of his life, also described him as a hard-working individual who had a strong love for the sea.
And I know Peter for most of my life, I would say. I know him to be a hard-working kind of person. You know, he loved around the sea. He did most of his things around the sea as far as finance is concerned, because that's where he make his living, that sort of way. It shook me a bit. I felt a little, hurt, because I could not imagine a person who loved the sea that sort of way and then, lose it at the sea. It was a little shocking to me.
Barbados recorded 5 new COVID-19 cases on Monday. The latest positive cases of 2 females and 3 males were identified among the 1,056 tests conducted by the Best Dos Santos Public Health Laboratory. The number of people in isolation is 112. The country has recorded 4,422 cases of the virus since March last year. The death toll from the virus is 48.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from the region, the Bahamas to launch a massive vaccination campaign after receiving over 33,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. More from Our News, Bahamas.
We will launch one of the largest and greatest vaccination programs within our community ever seen, to vaccinate as many people as possible. And I've had discussion with my cabinet and gotten agreement from my cabinet colleagues that I, as a medical doctor, will volunteer my services with the other medical colleagues to assist in the vaccination of the Bahamian populace throughout our country.
Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis announced that vaccinations will resume on Thursday on New Providence at Loyola Hall for first and second doses and at 3 additional sites next week. Today's delivery represents the third tranche of prepaid doses the country has received through the COVAX facility. Minnis said the government will send 5,000 doses to Antigua and Barbuda, which gave the Bahamas 5,000 doses in June in an exchange program. In the last several weeks, frustration grew as the Bahamas vaccine supply dried up. Minnis encouraged Bahamians to book their appointments immediately. As it relates to vaccinations on the Family Islands, which have come to a standstill,
Health officials and volunteers are currently working on a schedule to continue vaccinations on the Family Islands. And more information will be announced on this phase of the rollout.
And finally, U.S. President Joe Biden and other top lawmakers have been reacting to the New York Attorney General's findings that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women. More from Reuters TV.
I think he should resign.
U.S. President Joe Biden on Tuesday joined a chorus of lawmakers calling on New York Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign after a report by the state's Attorney General found that he had sexually harassed 11 women.
I understand that the state legislature may decide to impeach.
Carl Heastie, Speaker of the New York State Assembly, authorized an impeachment investigation into Cuomo's conduct and called the 168-page report from the Attorney General's office, quote, disturbing.
I never touched anyone inappropriately.
In a video statement, 63-year-old Cuomo denied he acted inappropriately and said he had no plans to resign. But the findings could signal a swift fall for Cuomo, who had become a popular national figure last year in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. In a Tuesday statement, U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said, quote, as always, I commend the women who came forward to speak their truth. Recognizing his love of New York and the respect for the office he holds, I call upon the governor to resign.
I want to read a statement. Senators Gillibrand and I.
New York's 2 U.S. Senators, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand, also said Cuomo needed to go.
No elected official is above the law. The people of New York deserve better leadership in the governor's office. We continue to believe that the governor should resign.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.